She's doing it. I don't even know what to say. I made her take off my clothes.
Because I don't have shoes on or a mask on. Then I realized I wet the bed and was covered in pee. So I don't know if it was the cat piss or my piss. Oh my God, I'm an old I'm literally 42, 27, whatever. But in my brain, I'm still 13. I was born male. And now I have all the parts and everything that I was meant to be born with.
At this point, I'm literally fuming because I was a fan of hers and then she just scammed me for absolutely no reason. 10 days later, I say, just to be clear, you stole my money. She says, wait, what?
I deserve everything.
Lilah Gibney is actually the worst human being I have ever met in my life.
I don't know why I'm crying.
She's a walking, talking biohazard.
I'm gonna let you know that 99% of the population would just hold it.
She's also wearing your little white shorts.
Are you wearing my little white shorts?
Peeing.
And I just kept wetting myself. Like at one point we were in the Uber and I just started peeing. And I was like, oh my God.
And pooping in public.
She's doing it, y'all. She's doing it. I don't even know what to say. I made her take off my clothes.
She's a scammer.
In 2022, Lilah Gibney literally scammed me out of $780.
A liar.
Stupid $80 back. He did.
And a thief.
Oh, and when we were getting ready for dinner, I only brought 2 pairs of shoes. So I was like, can I borrow a pair of shoes? She was like, go look in my closet. Tell me why I go in the closet and I find not 1, but 2 pairs of what I thought was lost Dior
Even worse than stealing from everyone around her, she's also accused of sexual assault.
What was going on? She grabbed me by the back of my hair and shoved my face into the guy's.
This is Lilah Gibney, an influencer who rose to fame after exposing Jake Paul for being transphobic.
You guys, we literally were just told to leave Team 10 because why, Kendall?
Because we're not real women, apparently. Like, what?
She ruined her friend's wedding by aggressively snatching the bouquet from others. And vlogging the entire wedding, even when the bride specifically asked guests not to do that. She can even go as low as to sleep with her friends' boyfriends.
I know. I literally, a friend of mine was like, hey, this guy just messaged me about, like, slid up on my story view. He says you're so hot, and he's like 6'9", like a basketball player, so hot. And she's like, who?
The question is, are people right to hate Lilah? Or is there more to her story than what meets the eye? To answer this question, it's important to start with one of the most hated parts of our personality by far. The internet is disgusted by Lilah's numerous stories and incidents in which she ends up peeing everywhere except in the toilet. In one such story, she mentioned that she would pee on the floor in public if she couldn't find a washroom in time. She thinks it makes her unique to have a raging urinary tract infection that makes her unable to control her own bladder, even in public places. She even admits that her UTI was untreated for so long it literally created dead tissue, and she had to get surgery.
Fly back to Arizona to get emergency bladder surgery because literally I had an untreated UTI. Technically, my vagina is a little different than most of y'all's. Since it was an untreated UTI, it created necrosis, which is dead tissue, which is not good. So he literally had to put me to sleep and zap it out or scrape it out. So he did that. It was completely fine.
Like that one time she addressed being caught by her fans peeing behind a bush outside the Rolling Stone.
Dolls at Rolling Loud were dolling, first of all. Me peeing in a bush outside of Rolling Loud while one of you guys were taking a photo.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Not on my vision board.
No.
But you know what? I had to pee. And I don't know how to hold my pee. It's honestly a bad trait that I have. When I have to go, I have to go.
I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty disgusting and unhinged. But Lilah likes to pretend this is normal behavior and makes reels about it all the time.
Open the door, Cassie! What kind of friends are you? What the?
Even worse, she peed in her sleep while she was sharing a bed with a friend. Imagine willingly admitting you pissed the bed at this age on a podcast for the world to see. Yikes.
We wake up and I'm like, something's wet. And she's just like, oh, that's so crazy. Acts like
It's water.
Yeah, like I'm crazy for thinking that something was wet. And then she's like, oh, like you guys go. I'm just gonna stay in bed for a little bit. Like I'll meet up with you guys later.
No, it was I think this is when I
This was the day of
I shattered my tooth, so it worked perfectly. Like I shattered my tooth. I was laying in my own pee in bed, realized I wet the bed because I was so drunk. And then they were like, oh, we want to go do things. And I was like, well, I don't have a tooth, so I'm going to stay, laying in my pee.
In another incident, she peed through her pants in an Uber and then lied to the poor driver that it was just water. Uber car seats, restaurant chairs, and even the roadside are all toilet seats in Lilah's eyes.
Wetting my pants because I had a UTI. Like, I was wearing leather shorts, and I just kept wetting myself. Like, at one point, we were in the Uber, and I just started peeing. And I was like, oh my God, who spilled their Voss water or vodka Red Bull? Like,
Moreover, she also went into a Holiday Inn without shoes and, of course, covered in her own piss. At this point, are we even shocked? But what's really amazing is how Lilah manages to spin the narrative and blame the worker who shooed her away for not caring about my well-being.
Hotel that was. I walked next door to the hotel. Of course, she's already cussing me out because I don't have shoes on or a mask on. Then I realized I wet the bed and was covered in pee. So I don't know if it was the cat piss or my piss at that apartment, but neither were cute.
And let's not ever forget Tana Mongeau's infamous video of Lilah literally pooping on the side of the road. Do I even need to say more? I think the video speaks for itself. Well, these stories had to be told, otherwise you'd never understand just how unhinged Lilah truly is. Before we dive further into why Lilah is hated so much, let's take a brief detour to talk about who she is and why she's relevant. She's a 27-year-old social media influencer based in LA. She has over 100,000 followers on TikTok, over 80,000 followers on Instagram, and over 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. She even created her own podcast series, Lilahbility, with social media influencer Stassi Bell.
Coming at your mouth with your blah blah blah. Zip your lip like a padlock.
Surprisingly, the roots of her fame can be traced all the way back to when she was 16. Back then, Lilah hadn't had her gender reassignment surgeries and had just started her YouTube channel. Her content style at the time was just her talking about different things like school, her sexuality at the time.
Hey bitches, it's Luke, and today I'm going to be making a video about coming out as gay to my friends and family.
And makeup.
Hi guys, it's Luke again, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different, and I'm actually doing a makeup video for you guys, so why don't we get right on to it.
Her content had always been chaotic and extra, like talking about how hot James Charles was and wanting to sleep with him. And even teaching her followers how to get sugar daddies.
For today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that I've gotten so many requests for, and I can't keep putting it off because today is that day. You gotta give the fans what they want, right? That is how to get a sugar daddy. So let's just get right into it because this shit's gonna be a mess.
However, while she had a small following at the time, it was nowhere near the 50,000 subscribers she had today. Her videos had significantly fewer views and comments.
But it's true, I do get hate comments, and I literally think they're so funny. I've never once been harmed by any of the things that I'm about to say. And if you do get sensitive from this kind of stuff, then honestly, click the out of this video.
So what launched Lilah all the way into the limelight? One of her first videos with over 300,000 views was when she came out as a trans person on her YouTube channel and posted a how to tuck tutorial for other trans women.
So for those of you nosy ass dumb at home that are gonna comment, did she have this surgery? Did she do this? Did she do that? First of all, bitch, doesn't matter. Second of all, no, I have not had the surgery yet, but hopefully within the next year-ish or so, that will be happening. So until then,
Lilah received a lot of support for coming out as a trans woman, and she has become a trans icon on social media. The next video that got over 300,000 views was the infamous Team 10 video.
okay, good. Girls are here.
If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, Team 10 was a content house formed by Jake Paul, a huge YouTuber star at the time.
The sneeze.
They even released music videos such as It's Everyday Bro, getting over 300 million views. So yeah, they were massive. To cut the long story short, Lilah and her friend Kendall, who will come out later in this video, were invited to a party in the Team 10 house in 2019.
party, and then Kendall is like, okay, like, let's go to the Team 10 house.
So yeah, we were like on the way to this party, and I literally changed my Uber location because they told us to come.
However, within minutes of getting there, they were told by Jake Paul's video editor to leave.
And one of the fucking editors, his name is Blaine. Hi, Blaine. We know you're watching this. Don't care. He came up to us two and our friend who was born full puss, full everything, so cisgender, whatever the f you want to call it. He went up to her and he was literally like, don't you guys have like a party to go to? Like, and we should probably go do that. And we literally were like, huh? Like we literally just got here. Like we literally just were to Calabasas. Literally from Hollywood. Like,
upon confronting the editor, it became apparent to Lilah and Kendall that they were being discriminated against because, according to the editor, they weren't real girls.
I was like, I don't know, like, I just thought you guys were, like, gonna come with real girls.
we're not real girls, apparently.
Lilah also shows a video of their argument with the person who asked them to leave.
Because I was told that,
You were told what?
She, however, specifically states that the video wasn't meant to bash Jake Paul because, according to Lilah, he was a good guy.
I want to make one thing clear, and that is, in no way, shape, or form am I trying to, like, break an NDA and, like, be a bad and, like, talk and, like, make Jake Paul seem like a bad person, because Jake Paul himself, love him. We've had great conversations. Such a good guy, literally.
Despite comments mostly being hate, Lilah still got over 300,000 views, a perfect breakthrough she was waiting to witness. From then on, Lilah figured out the formula to get her fame and views. She would regularly post videos about her trans surgeries and sexual interactions.
That's right, we're dating! I told you,
Oh, hi. Am I done?
No.
I was gonna say, I don't remember. I kind of blacked out.
I don't even want to know how Lilah's gonna be acting with this.
She's not going to. She's not going to know how.
And would name drop famous personalities and YouTubers for views such as Jeffree Star, Adam22, Nicolette Gray, and Tana Mongeau.
Today I'm joined with a very special guest, Nicolette, Miss Beverly Hills Brat herself. For some reason, I am behind the driver's seat.
She's about to drive my car. I'm gonna teach her how to drive.
The attention-grabbing content that Lilah made worked, as she slowly but surely gained over 50,000 subscribers. However, the internet soon came to know about Lilah's problematic behavior and controversies.
More allegations of Tana Mongeau's ex-best friend Lilah Gibney have come to light, including allegations of SA, coercion of straight men, and lying to straight men to get them to sleep with her.
Lilah became a figure of controversy when her fans came forward with stories about being scammed by her.
Lilah Gibney scammed this girl out of $430.
But why would Lilah steal money from others when she always acted like she was rich and had a luxurious LA influencer lifestyle?
So, y'all saw my collab with Miss Tara's World on our exclusive site last week. So, I went shopping. Let's go. Me and Mario may or may not have spent literally $5,000 at Diesel. Let's do all.
People speculated that her rich lifestyle was all a persona, and that she actually had no money, which is why she scammed her fans. Apart from scamming her fans, she was also very open and proud about stealing from restaurants and grocery stores by pretending someone else took her online order. One thing about Lilah we have to appreciate, the word shame doesn't exist in her dictionary.
Go to the grocery store with a duffel bag, stuff it full, get like $300 of groceries and pay like $3. Wig. Okay. And then I would go to Starbucks and be like, I'm so confused. I think another homeless person took my order again for the 30th day in a row. And they're like, oh my God, like Lilah Ryan, like it's a strawberry ice. I'm like, yeah, I love your shoes, Casey.
So essentially the scam is saying that you had a mobile order and someone took it.
Yeah, take notes, figure it out. Don't be like,
I bet they knew it.
She received a lot of backlash for admitting to stealing from other companies. So now that we know she confessed to stealing before, it's not surprising that she also stole from her own fans. One of Lilah's ex-fans, Dean, made the mistake of trusting her blindly. He paid Lilah $80 for her to post an Instagram story promoting Dean's new song.
She didn't post or say anything for 3 days. Then I messaged her and I said, I'm really sorry to bother you, but can you please post it? She said she kept forgetting and that she would do it.
However, he was in for a world of disappointment because Lilah had never planned on following through her end of the deal. She kept telling Dean she'd get around to posting it eventually while continuing to promote other people's content. Dean only had a small channel, and $80 was a huge amount for him. After waiting for ages, Dean started desperately begging Lilah to either post the promo story like she promised or give him a refund. However, Lilah simply stopped responding to Dean's messages.
4 days later, still no post. I messaged her again, please just either give me back my money or post the story promo.
Then, to no one's surprise, she responded immediately when he asked if she needed more money for the promotion. And of course, she said yes.
Once I said, do you need more money, to see what she would say. She says yes. At this point, I'm literally fuming because I was a fan of hers and then she just scammed me for absolutely no reason. 10 days later, I say, just to be clear, you stole my money. She says, wait, what?
After being confronted for being a scammer, thief, and a liar, Lilah just went back to ghosting him and never gave him a refund. As expected, people were absolutely furious for the poor guy who got scammed out of $80. As a result of the backlash and viewers' outrage, Lilah eventually gave Dean his $80 back. But instead of feeling guilty, she mocked him on Tana's podcast by saying he got his stupid effing $80 back.
What was your scandal? Baby.
Bubbles. Depop. $80.
Oh, were you scamming people?
Dean Redman.
She's a Depop. Send Dean his $80.
Guys, stupid $80 back.
He did.
When Dean saw the video of Lilah making fun of him, he made a response video for Lilah. Dean had some harsh words for Lilah, and truly she deserved each and every word, perhaps even more.
You fully ghosted me, led me on to think you were gonna post it, never posted it, until I finally called you out, the video goes viral. You then DM me horrible, hateful things, saying, oh, if you were a real fan, you'd delete that. Who does that to someone? I'm sorry, that was an abuse of power. I mean, I guess tables have turned because who's supporting you now? You kind of turned everyone who liked you against you.
Others who had witnessed the whole situation were also extremely outraged at Lilah's disturbing attitude. But wait, this poor guy wasn't the only fan Lilah preyed on. In 2022, Lilah's fan Sophia was scammed for a whole $780.
Everybody's on here telling their stories about how they've been over, lied, manipulated by Lilah Gibney. Well, guess what? So have I. So I'm going to tell my story now. In 2022, Lilah Gibney literally scammed me out of $780.
Lilah had posted on her Instagram story that she was selling her used designer clothing. Sophia immediately DM'd Lilah and sent her the money, excited about her purchase.
So, she had posted an item on her Instagram story. Now, the item actually retailed for around $850. She told me I'd get it for $780. I thought, wonderful.
Unfortunately, Sophia didn't know Lilah loves to scam her fans. Over the 6 months, Lilah made a bunch of excuses. Sometimes she would say she was out of town and couldn't ship the clothes, and other times she would blame the mail for losing the package.
Well, I ended up sending the money, and then along the span of, I think it was like 6 months, I was fed 3 different lies. 1, sorry babe, I'm just not in town, I can't ship it out, so you're gonna have to wait. Sorry babe, I sent it out, but I guess it got lost in the mail. Fine, you can have a refund.
Eventually, it seemed like Lilah had some decency after all and gave Sophia a refund. However, only a few days later, Lilah had the refund reversed, and Sophia was out $780 again.
Not even 4 days after I was sent back my alleged refund, she filed the chargeback. So then I had fraud on my bank account for $780.
Apart from Dean and Sophia, another ex-fan also came forward about Lilah scamming her in 2022.
Okay, so story time about how I trusted the wrong influencer and she stole money from me.
This fan, who goes by the handle Jane, had wanted to buy a designer item from Lilah's Instagram story for $200.
That she was gonna start selling like unused designer clothing for her fans to buy. So I saw a jacket that I really wanted and I was like, let me know if it's available. So she said it would be $200 and I agreed.
Lilah asked Jane to pay $200 to Lilah's friend, Molly Little. Molly also used to be an influencer but has now disappeared from the social media world.
So she said to Venmo her friend. Her friend is Molly Little. This girl also used to be on social media. I don't know if she is now.
Once the money had been sent to Molly, Lilah confirmed the payment and told Jane that the jacket would be shipped soon.
So then I sent the money, sent them proof, like sent a screenshot. Right above where it says yay done, there was like a screenshot of the Venmo transaction.
However, after waiting for a month for the jacket to be delivered, Jane started becoming worried and asked Lilah to just refund the money. Lilah, of course, completely ignored her.
Then, of course, days turned into weeks and I never got my jacket. I definitely really regret how kind I was at first, as you can see on this.
Extremely desperate to get her money back, Jane turned to Molly Little about the situation because she had sent Molly the money. However, Molly just coldly said that the situation had nothing to do with her.
So then I reached out on Venmo to Molly Little about her just sending the money back. Like, no worries, I understand that I'm not going to get it. Can you just please send me my $200 back? She was just so rude, just so entitled and mean for no reason.
By now, Jane was extremely upset and worried about her money and left comments on Lilah's posts.
So during this time, I saw Lilah going out to a bunch of fancy dinners, like posting how much she was spending, blah, blah, blah. So to her, I posted this on the Reddit. $200 was a night out, but to other people, it was getting like a month's worth of groceries for themselves. You almost have 80,000 followers and you're too broke. You can't pay back your supporters who you stole money from.
After commenting on Lilah's pictures, Jane messaged her one last time asking Lilah if she scammed her. Lilah just denied the fact that she scammed Jane and then ignored any other messages.
Then of course I reached out and I was basically like, I got scammed, and she said no. And then I was like, okay, well, you never sent me the jacket that I paid for. Also, just to point out, she is like seeing all of these on Instagram and she's just not responding.
Jane's story went viral after she initially posted about it on Reddit. The post got over 500 upvotes, with many viewers urging her to make a video about the situation. Jane's TikTok then got over 600,000 views and lots of comments supporting her. Lilah finally addressed this situation after the backlash. However, what she chose to say about her conduct was even more disturbing. Lilah was disrespectful by talking about the situation while eating a sandwich.
Story time about how I trusted the wrong influencer and she stole money from me.
What's up, you guys? I just ordered the fattest sandwich from Ike's because I figured it was time to unwrap this drama and debunk everything that is being said online.
Her excuse was that this happened in 2020 and that she has changed as a person since then.
But people change all the time, and what she's talking about, this whole situation of her apparently not receiving the item that she paid for, was in 2020.
But then Lilah flipped the script onto Jane and told her to get a hobby and go volunteer instead of posting about all this on Reddit.
But I probably should just stop now, but I do just want to say it does say a lot about Miss Glow Getter. She's even scrolling on Reddit in the first place. Baby, get a hobby. Take ayahuasca.
She then wraps up her video by saying she wished she didn't have to address situations like this. She also said that this happened before she had her gender-changing surgeries, and so now she's a different person. Will Lilah ever take accountability for her own actions?
So much. I wish I didn't even have to address stuff like this, especially since whatever happened before my transition did.
Users were disturbed that Lilah never mentioned refunding the $200 to Jane. She doesn't even apologize for her actions. All she does is bully Jane throughout her video. Now, apart from physically scamming people out of their hard-earned money, she's also no stranger to intellectual theft and not giving credit for others' ideas. This story takes us all the way back to Lilah's early days as a YouTuber, when she had just started getting her fame after the infamous Team 10 video.
What is up, you guys? It is September 11th, 2019, and I am on my way to, honestly, my first little rhinoplasty consult.
Lilah's fan at the time, Sierra, had DM'd her to show support during the whole situation.
So I followed her because she had posted this YouTube video, like exposing Jake Paul.
During the conversion, Sierra ended up giving Lilah an idea to sell merchandise. Sierra's idea was for the merchandise to say "Real Girl" on it. This was because Lilah was kicked out of the Team 10 party for not being a real woman. In the screenshot Sierra shows, Lilah can be seen saying she loves the idea.
I had swiped up on one of her stories and I DM'd her. I was like, you should make merch that says like "real girl" or like "I'm a real girl," because like in reference to what kind of blew her up at the time, which was her saying that like Jake Paul was saying that her and her friend weren't real girls. And she basically like DM'd me back and was like, oh my god, that's such a good idea.
Lilah also went on to launch the Real Girl phone cases and hoodies soon afterwards. However, Lilah never bothered to acknowledge that the idea for the merchandise wasn't her own. own, but came from a fan.
So literally moments later, after I DM her this, she goes and she posts on her Instagram story, like, I just dropped new merch, and it's the exact idea that I gave her. And like, I genuinely don't care anymore because I was like 17. This was like 6 years ago. I just really think it was funny. But it's like, she fully like took my merch idea and like sold it and like posted it on her story and like did not mention me, didn't tag me or anything like that. Like, so this, hold on. This is when I said you should make shirts that say real girl or like we are real girls. And she goes like, OMG. And this is at 11 p.m. on August 15th, 2019. And then August 16th at 6 a.m. real girl phone cases.
While we were only able to talk about Dean, Sophia, and Jane's stories today, there are many more victims out there. In fact, Lilah had scammed so many people that there was even a Reddit mega thread with links to all her scams and victims so more people wouldn't fall for her scams. Most people who saw this post had never even heard of Lilah before, but were still disgusted by her behavior. Other than scamming people, another controversial incident that landed Lilah in hot water was when she ruined a wedding with her selfish behavior. About a year ago, influencers Alex and Coover got married in a beautiful ceremony in California.
Alex, you may now kiss your bride.
It was attended by a lot of well-known influencers like James Charles,
Get ready with me for Alex and Cobra's wedding day.
Bryce Hall, and Josh Richards.
Wakanda King, tryna with me, tryna my girl.
Daniel Seavey, and Charlie D'Amelio. Unfortunately, the guest list also included our favorite unhinged mess, Lilah.
I'm not like the sweet like things I can dream on. Baby, love me 'cause I'm saying under.
Considering the fact that most of their guests would also be influencers, Alex and Coover had asked that their wedding would remain an unplugged event. This basically meant that the bride and groom did not want guests to record videos or take pictures during the wedding. However, they made the mistake of inviting Lilah, who by now we know does not care about anything but herself. Because not only did she actively vlog throughout the wedding, clearly suffering from main character syndrome,
Seriously crying.
Mr. and Mrs. Hughes.
but she also posted the vlog before Alex and Coover had gotten a chance to post about their own wedding first. To add to the disrespect, Lilah and Stassi, her friend and co-host on the Lilability podcast series, also filmed themselves rolling around on the couple's honeymoon bed and on the bride's wedding veil. Yikes.
I love you, Kohler, but this is sick of me.
Sauce's putting Cover's train on her head. Bitch looks like she's about.
Clueless about how viewers would react, Lilah kept posting during the wedding. However, people were extremely angry that she disrespected the bride and groom's wishes. In fact, people were so upset that the incident went viral, and even the Daily Mail wrote an article about Lilah's behavior. Other influencers like Maddie were also vocal about the fact that Lilah did not behave properly at the wedding.
If somebody makes a vlog about my wedding, like a YouTube vlog about my wedding, why would you do that? It's a wedding. It's not a theme park.
Even the bride and groom agreed with Maddie that Lilah's behavior was problematic. Other users also agreed that Lilah was at fault. Upon seeing all of the backlash, Lilah realized that she had gone too far and posted a video giving her side of the story. Throughout the video, she wouldn't stop mentioning that she drove over 3 hours to attend the wedding, as if that was some sort of justification for her outrageous behavior.
Their beautiful wedding this last weekend. Yes, I chose to drive 4 hours there because, of course, need to celebrate literally the most perfect couple ever. So I just want to talk about it. I didn't drive 3 hours to like record their vows and disrespect anybody. So if y'all think that, if Cover and Alex think that, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. That was not my intention. I drove 3 or more hours to celebrate Alex and Cover, and I was there for them and them only.
The rest of Lilah's so-called apology was basically gaslighting the whole world into believing that vlogging is her form of love. Is she serious right now?
Cute little VHS video of like literally the most beautiful wedding ever. Would make people so happy. That's my way of showing my love and affection, honestly, is editing, creating content, my experiences doing things with people that I love.
She also says that she had no idea the bride and groom didn't want people to take photos or videos. But we already know that's a lie, since there was a picture of the sign at the wedding asking guests to not use their phone to take pictures or record videos.
There's no influencer wedding rule book, honestly. There was no signs. No one said it was unplugged. Multiple people asked the multiple people in the wedding party, can I post? Is it okay if I post? Everybody said yes.
Lilah then talks about having always been a content creator and vlogger, and essentially blames Alex and Coover for inviting her in the first place, even when they knew her personality.
That's just always how I've been. I've always been like into my Snapchat. I've always had my big ass iPad in 7th grade. Obviously, when you're invited to a wedding, people know your personality. I was personally invited. I was not a +1. That is something I'll never apologize for, is being myself.
For some odd reason, she also brings up anti-trans laws during her so-called apology, which had absolutely nothing to do with the matter at hand.
But worry about the like 350 anti-trans laws that are being passed right now. That's what we should be worried about. And so many other things.
Then she ends her unhinged story by calling out Alex and Coover for not messaging her privately, even if they had a problem with her behavior.
I'm sorry if I offended anybody. Alex and Cover, y'all know I love you. I wish Alex and Cover would have, just said something or texted me personally, but they didn't. So I love you guys.
As you can expect, people were not pleased with her explanation and called her out for lying about not being aware of the bride and groom's wishes. The wedding drama blew up so much that even Tana and Brooke, Lilah's friends and famous influencers, talked about Lilah's behavior on their podcast series Canceled.
Me like the whole rundown, which was really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me the whole rundown.
Yeah.
Diva.
According to them, Coover the bride would usually not get involved in drama. However, the fact that Coover chose to support Maine's video calling out Lilah meant that she was extremely upset about Lilah's behavior.
Yeah, but I think they're livid.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't think that Cover's ever been livid before.
I think that it's really rare for Cover to respond or feed into anything, and she was commenting.
Well, what we know about Cover is that she cared the most in life about her wedding and getting married.
Mm-hmm. So I could see how she could be very angry. You know what I mean?
Tana and Brooke were hesitant to fully call out Lilah for her behavior, considering that they were friends with her at the time. But even they had to acknowledge her disrespect of rolling on Coover's veil.
The veil takes it to me to a new, you had to have known in that moment of the veil. I'm in Cover's quarters and Cover's not here. Cover was eating.
I guess I just hope in those situations that it's an ignorance thing and not a deliberate disrespect.
Fans of the series weren't happy that Tana and Brooke were enabling Lilah's behavior by refusing to properly call her out. So that brings us to the latest controversy in Lilah's saga, the Surviving Lilah chapter. It all started when Cole Kerrigan, an ex-friend of Lilah's, posted a video titled Surviving Lilah Gibney Storytime, which got over 8 million views. Cole starts his story about Lilah by talking about his own vulnerable situation at the time he last met Lilah. Cole had just gotten out of an abusive relationship and was on the road to recovery from hard drugs.
I used to live in LA 5 years ago, and this person was my yin and yang. And then I moved out of LA, got in a really abusive relationship, and unfortunately became addicted to hardcore drugs. I'm now almost 15 months into my recovery and sobriety journey.
So Cole wanted to attend a Tate McRae concert, and her next show would be in LA. Now Lilah invited him to crash with her in LA so they could attend the concert together.
So Lilah had hit me up and was like, oh my gosh, you can stay with me. We should go together. It'll be so much fun. I booked my flight to leave that Wednesday.
Unfortunately, Cole found out that his grandfather had only a week left to live because of his terminal illness. Cole made the difficult decision to enjoy the concert before coming back to be with his grandfather for the last time. Cole had told Lilah all of this, and Lilah fully supported his decision.
Found out that my grandpa had like less than a week to live from the doctor saying and was about to go into hospice. So I obviously was like, I can't go. I canceled my flight. Never lost someone so close to me, and was debating back and forth if I should still go because I had bought in the ticket already. They all told me your grandfather would want you to go. He would want you to have fun. He's still gonna be here when you get back. Go do this for him, live in the moment. And I kind of took this as like my last bit of fun before like this wall of grief was going to hit me when I got home. Lilah knew all of this.
According to Cole, Lilah had also opened up to him about her own struggles with drugs. So while Cole had been mentally prepared that Lilah also had her issues, he had no idea what was about to go down.
She basically, before I flew out, opened up to me about struggling with some issues that I had before. So I kind of knew what I was walking into, that I had to be.
Thinking that he and Lilah were about to have a fun weekend together, he booked his ticket. As soon as Cole landed in LA, Lilah dragged him along for a bunch of activities like massages and spray tans. While Lilah paid for the massage, Cole claims he's the one who paid for the spray tans.
I thanked her after for the cool massage that she brought me along for. Afterwards, we got a spray tan that I paid the spray tan lady. She did not. This information comes in handy later on in the story.
However, as soon as they got home and started to get ready to go out, Lilah does a complete 180 and flips out. According to Cole, she rampaged through the entire apartment, allegedly looking for drugs. When she couldn't find them, she turned to Cole and accused him of stealing drugs from her.
So we're getting ready, and when we're almost done ready, she starts ripping her apartment apart. And she's like, I can't find my rugs. To the point where she literally looks at me and accuses me of taking it. She's like, you know what? It was in my hand. It doesn't just disappear. I know you took it. I know you have it. I know you took it. Where is it? Give it to me.
It was extremely deranged of Lilah to accuse someone she invited over of stealing drugs with no proof. However, what makes it worse was that Lilah knew that Cole was about to lose his grandfather, and also that Cole was recovering from his own addiction.
Literally zero consideration how triggering it might be hearing somebody say, you stole my where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And I physically could not hear that anymore, to the fact that I was trying to ease her anxiety, and I was like, like, look through my stuff. Like, I'll help you look for it. She had somebody recovering in sobriety looking for her.
After Lilah calmed down, she pretended that nothing happened and took Cole to a restaurant. However, she then kept Cole waiting inside the restaurant alone for over an hour while she took fake paparazzi pictures outside.
So I was like, it's okay, girl. I'll just go get our table, make sure we still have a table, and you go do your thing, and I'll get the drinks. I was at the table by myself for almost an hour.
When she finally came inside, she went off on Cole for being ungrateful despite all the things she treated him to.
Finally comes up, and she just is pissed. She's like, I don't like your attitude this whole day. You've been so weird. You're so ungrateful. I got you a facial, a spray tan, all this.
At the end of her outburst, she told Cole to pack his stuff and get out of her apartment.
For free, and you're so unappreciative. You are complaining just because I need to take my Fashion Nova photos. Honestly, Cole, like, when we get back home, you can get the out. You can pack your and get the out.
While they were in the same restaurant, Lilah ended up peeing in the restaurant's booth seats. According to Cole, she also did that in the seats at the Tate McRae concert.
Meanwhile, she literally peed in the catch booth like 3 or 4 times, and at the concert in her seats, and in multiple Ubers.
Apart from talking about Lilah's uncalled for aggressive behavior towards him, Cole also accused Lilah of having stolen his Dior shoes and Fendi sunglasses.
Tell me why I go in the closet and I find not 1, but 2 pairs of my, what I thought was lost, Dior Converse shoes. And if you know me, you know I used to have like 15 pairs of those, and my Fendi sunglasses.
Another incident that Cole talked about was that Lilah's hairstylist had been in the hospital due to a problem with her breast implants and being in a lot of pain. Despite this, Lilah forced her hairdresser to leave the hospital and come do her hair for free.
Rubs it off. He goes and picks up her friend/hairstylist and makes her discharge her from the hospital because her implants were rejecting and is in so much pain, just to come do her hair for the concert for free for a little tag, as if that's going to get her any business.
For context, this was the video Cole was talking about.
It's a full-time job, and it's extremely time-consuming, and it's not as easy as it may appear to some people.
Cole's video went viral and viewers were shocked at all of the horrible things Lilah had done. Upon seeing Cole expose Lilah, other people she had bullied also came forward with their stories about her. One of them was Ava Louise, another one of Lilah's ex-friends. She backed up Cole's version of events and joined in the surviving Lilah story by dropping a few bombs of her own.
Lilah Gibney is actually the worst human being I have ever met in my life. I have never really spoken on her because I do feel bad for her at the end of the day. She is clearly mentally ill and very insecure. But after what Cole Kerrigan just posted, I think it's time I share my experience.
According to Ava, Lilah would relentlessly bully her and call her fat, annoying, and ugly behind her back. Ava was completely unaware of what was happening and only found out when Cole told her.
When we would FaceTime, she would turn her phone on airplane mode and then tell every other person in the room how annoying and ugly I was. And she would make fun of me for calling her back, thinking she just lost signal. And I didn't know this was happening until Cole told me.
What makes Ava's story even worse is that Lilah has talked about struggling with an eating disorder herself.
Obviously, for my last couple posts, I notified you guys that I'm getting some help for a couple things. As I've said, I've struggled with an eating disorder for literally 10 years.
Even though Lilah hated Ava, she had to be nice to Ava to her face. This was because Ava was very useful to Lilah, and Ava would often help Lilah get into LA parties.
Besides the fact that she used to bully me behind my back but be nice to my face because Lilah, although she thinks she's so well connected in LA and can get into parties, she couldn't get into parties without me.
However, as soon as Ava would get them into a party, Lilah would ditch Ava. She would abandon Ava when Ava was vulnerable and drunk. She filmed both Cole and Ava wasted and then posted it on her social media accounts to humiliate them.
She would immediately abandon me wherever we were, no matter how drunk we were. She would film Cole and I when we were wasted and in really bad states to post on her story to make us look bad.
Ava was also a victim of Lilah's scams. Ava had also tried to buy Lilah's secondhand designer clothing items and had paid hundreds of dollars for them to be shipped. However, she never received the clothes, and Lilah would just claim the shipping company lost the package. Sound familiar?
She has scammed hundreds of dollars out of me. She would post clothing items on her story and I'd say, oh, that's cute, I want it, can I buy it? And I would send her money for it and she would never ship me the clothes. And then she would lie saying that the clothing got lost in transit or something, but she did it to her fans too and multiple other people.
Similar to Cole's story, Ava talks about having her sunglasses and other items stolen from her by Lilah. Moreover, Lilah also allegedly stole Ava's credit card information and used it to pay for Uber Blacks.
It gets worse. She also stole designer sunglasses from me and little items. It is well known that if you are hanging out with Lilah, you need to hide anything that is valuable because she will just steal it. She also stole my credit card information one time so she could get a bunch of Uber Blacks for herself.
Not to mention, Lilah also tried to sleep with Ava's boyfriend at the time and made inappropriate advances towards him right in front of Ava.
Such as trying to sleep with the guy that I was seeing in Miami. Right in front of my face. She literally crawled on his lap in the Uber while he was sitting next to me.
However, Ava's story gets extremely disturbing. Allegedly, Lilah was being extremely intimate with a guy in the backseat of a car, while other people, including Ava, were there as well.
She literally was taking it in her chocolate starfish in the back of the Suburban with me and my friends and other people in the car. And while I was just sitting there, minding my own business, trying to ignore what was going on, she grabbed me by the back of my hair and shoved my face into the guy's you-know-what. And she started screaming at me to perform acts on the guy because he wanted me instead of her.
Not only did she sexually assault Ava herself, she also put her in extremely dangerous situations where other men had attempted to assault her.
Oh, also while we were in Miami, she brought us up to this random guy's hotel room and there was 4 men and they tried giving us all GHB to SA us. And Lilah just willingly took the GHB and then she went in there and she just hooked up with all the guys.
Ava also left a comment on her own video talking about another instance in which Lilah tried to force her to perform acts on her against her will. Ava's story left viewers with their jaws on the floor. After Ava and Cole came forward with their stories, another one of Lilah's ex-friends also shared her experience with Lilah. Remember that Team 10 video that put Lilah in the limelight? Well, Kendall, the other girl in that video and Lilah's ex-friend, also had a lot to say about the way Lilah treated her over the years.
Filming, and also I'm with one of my best friends, Kendall. Hi, baby. Literally our first video together, which is going to be one for...
Kendall caught Lilah flirting with a guy Kendall had a crush on for years. Lilah even sent the guy nude photos of herself. Lilah was special to Kendall because she was Kendall's first trans friend. This made Lilah's eventual betrayal even more heartbreaking for Kendall.
And like, she was like my first trans friend ever. So she meant like so much to me. A text from this man, and I'm like, how do you know him? That's so crazy. It's really crazy to me that you know him, because I've only been talking about him for, you know, weeks and months about how I've been in love with him since I was 17 years old. Just to find out they had been talking for over like 15 days on Snapchat, had a streak and everything, sending nudes behind my back.
Kendall admitted that to get back at Lilah, she went on a date with one of her ex-boyfriends. When Lilah found out, she went on a violent rampage.
Had a boyfriend for like a few weeks, and then she cheated on him, broke up with him, and he lived in LA. I did go on a date with him. I didn't hook up with him. I didn't. She broke into my apartment building, came and banged on my door, and said that we were gay and that to have fun, you know.
However, they had both moved past the situation and had forgotten each other, or so Kendall thought.
After that, we had forgiven each other, and we like saw each other out and about, and we're mutuals with like a lot of people, and we like obviously were in the same friend groups.
Lilah, pretending to have forgiven Kendall, invited her to a party, only to refuse to open the door for her and laugh at her from inside the house, thus proving that no one is more selfish than Lilah, and she would do anything to show that she's always right, even when she's wrong.
She invites us to her apartment. We go there. Boom. It buzzed up by security. We're upstairs. We're at her door. So freaking weird. She doesn't let us in. She's like, I don't know if she didn't realize this, but we could hear her laughing behind the door. We were like, this is so weird.
Users were left disturbed that Lilah had abused and bullied so many people throughout her life. Speaking of ex-friends, Lilah also owed a lot of fame and fans to Tana Mongeau. Tana was a huge influencer at the time, and many people only came to know about Lilah through Tana.
She's sultry, she's and you were born anatomically male. She's transsexual.
Despite them being friends, it seemed like Tana would also ridicule Lilah, like Lilah talking about putting things up her own behind for money.
Like,
oh no.
We're on this plane and she's filming a video and she's like, Tana and I put so many things in our so that we could get this plane. Like, go check it out, blah, blah. Lilah, I did a Ripple brand deal and got the plane. Like,
and what? So the people who, like, don't pay the money and actually go see it, or just genuinely in their heart, they're like, Tana put a zucchini in.
Yes, and a popsicle and whatever else the Lilah puts in her.
And also calling out Lilah for the fact that she loves to steal her best friend's boyfriends, which is also what Ava and Kendall said.
We always say that if you ever tell Lilah about a man, like, oh, I really like this guy, like, he's a big, like, he's great. Like, she's not like taking that as like, oh my God, that's so good for you. She's taking it as like a suggestion.
Yes, like we just gave her an idea.
Yeah, she's like, oh my, great, I'm on my way to his DMs. I'm sending him a video on my.
However, eventually Tana and Lilah stopped being friends with each other, and viewers speculated wildly about what may have gone down between the two.
What happened with you guys? I noticed you unfollowed each other, and are you not friends with Tana and all that anymore?
You know, I think people go their separate ways, and that's okay. People have their own like different walks of life, and that's also okay.
Lilah also made fun of Tana for not being on good terms with her own parents. But then Lilah pretended that she didn't mean to make fun of Tana. Despite the speculations, we still don't really know what truly went down between the two. But thinking about everything we know about Lilah so far, it's not hard to imagine what could have happened.
There's just some like differences, and you know, she's on her journey, I'm on my journey, and it's beautiful, it's amazing.
So what does Lilah have to say about all of the wild accusations made against her? Well, after the fallout from these surviving Lilah Gibney stories, she took to her Instagram story to discredit Ava, Cole, and Kendall. She claimed that they were lying and accused Cole of stealing from her instead of the other way around. She also claimed that Cole stole her painkillers from her to get high. She also posted a story captioned, "Logging off for good now," probably in an effort to gain sympathy from her followers. Soon afterwards, she posted another story about how she didn't care about what anyone had to say about her because she had thick skin and wasn't going to let haters get to her. Her next line of defense was to use her drug problem, which had come up in multiple stories, as another sympathy card, as if somehow finally cutting drugs out of her life exempts her from all of the horrible things she was accused of doing. However, as of making this video, she still has not provided any of the proof she has had to debunk what she was accused of doing. She continues to post as if nothing is wrong.
First of all, ew. Second of all,
We talked about every aspect of Lilah's life and personality today. From pissing and pooping everywhere to scamming friends and fans. From lying and stealing from others to just being an overall nightmare to be friends with. And let's not forget the darker parts of the story, such as the alleged instances of assault. This story has new twists and turns at every minute. So what are your thoughts on the whole surviving Lilah narrative? And is there any part of the story you think I've missed?